I don't want to talk about that, but we took it out and put a new one in. He had to go back and get some nails or something. I'm not sure exactly, but I was left here by myself. So I come in here, and this is right after I announced my calling, and I got up here, nobody here, and I was up here practice preaching, kind of. Of course, I was really quiet because there was no window in there, and I didn't want people outside to hear me. But I did okay for a few minutes, and then my mind went blank. Nobody here, and I couldn't think of the thing to say to nobody. So hopefully I'll do better this time. Better get my notes because I'm going to need them. Okay. When I was younger, I've had quite a few friends that they would dare me to do things, and I was the type that I was always willing to take a dare, no matter how stupid, no matter how immature it was. I was doing it. I didn't really care if I got in trouble or not. And that, I think we need to take God dares. I looked up the definition of dare, and it says to have the necessary courage or boldness to do something, to be bold enough to meet defiantly and face courageously. There's going to be a lot of times that in moving this church forward and our Christian walk to go forward, that God's going to dare us to do stuff that we don't want us to do. We don't want to do. He's going to dare us to go places. He's going to dare us to do different things. Y'all turn to Deuteronomy 31:6. When you're there, say hallelujah. All right. It says, be strong and of good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, He it is that doth go before thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. God's always going to be with us. If you're just standing there praising God and He tells you start jumping up and down, jump up and down, because He's right there with you. If He tells you to go up to the altar, go up to the altar. He's right there with you. If He tells you to stop and talk to somebody out on the streets, tell them about God, don't fear. He's right there with you. It says time and time again that God will not leave us. He will not forsake us. There's a lot of times that God's going to, like I said, dare you to do something you're not going to understand. You're going to think it's retarded. You're not going to want to do it. But when God dared, He kind of dared Moses. Go get them people out of it. Yeah. Whew, I'm getting confused now. Okay. When God told Moses to go free the people, he didn't just tell him to do it and then had nothing else to do with them. He was right there with them the whole way. When they was going over the Red Sea, and I'm sure they got scared knowing that army was coming after them, Pharaoh's army, and my mind's going 100 miles an hour. God's dare's not going to get us in trouble. And God's dares, they have purposes. His dares are not pointless. You might not understand the purpose, but he's going to be there with you. And if you just trust him and do what he says, you might get blessed. Somebody else might get blessed. When God told Moses to take that staff and throw it on the ground, and it's going to turn into a snake, I'm sure Moses thought, "Man, you're crazy. This thing's not going to turn into a snake." But it did. He didn't fail him. When Jesus dared Peter, when he was walking out on the water, and he told Peter, he said, "Come out here to me." Well, Peter didn't step over that boat and then fall straight in the water. God was right there with him to get him through it. In Exodus 13:21 says, "And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire." The Lord goes ahead of us in everything we do. I knew my notes would not make sense once I got up here looking at them. But I just think that we need to not be so afraid when God tells us to do something. Don't worry about what people are thinking. Don't worry about if it makes sense to you. You're going to get blessed if you listen to him in some way or another. A wise man once told me, he said, "Don't worry about the time limit on this message." So I think it's going to be pretty short, but I'm doing it for the Lord, doing what he wants me to do. If I just keep listening to him, keep doing what he wants me to, it'll get better. I'm sure. There's no doubt in my mind. Just don't be afraid when he tells you to do something. He'll always be there. He won't never leave you, never forsake you. Pastor, I'm done. Bless y'all. Thank you for listening.
He's not done. He's just beginning. I said it ain't the time limit. It ain't the fact of how long you do it, but it is standing up and declaring that I'm accepting doing what God is